All right, you ready? Go. Hi guys. Man, I said I wasn't gonna say hi guys because everybody says hi guys. Hi y'all. So I'm Hunter Sparrow, driver of Cars 72, 4400, Ultra 4. Used to be Dirt Riot. Rich and Shelley, we missed you. Where am I from? Durham, North Carolina originally. Moved out to Colorado 2008 with Dustin Eisenhower. Some of you guys may have know him. Scott McDaniel, he's an old buddy. I don't talk to him much anymore. Anyway, we moved out in 2008 to get closer to some better wheeling. North Carolina was, I think we pretty much rode every trail that was around there for many years. Anyway, so we moved out to Colorado in 2008. Started hanging around some guys, Chad Wheeler, Cody, Chris Hoyt, Matt Lee. It's all Matt Lee's fault, the whole reason I'm here. Started getting into, we heard of the KOH race in 2008, the rumors of it. In 2009, we started hearing more about it. In 2010, I believe, Chad raced. So we all went out and helped him. We built his rock crawl up to race in about a 2-month time span, which was an all hands on deck experience. Good camaraderie, getting everybody together, drinking beer, building this car to go out and race. And then the next guy did it. I think it was Chris Hoyt, and then Matt Lee, and then it was myself. 2011, started building Wasabi over there. I didn't know what I was doing, just throwing parts together, taking measurements from other cars here and there. You know, it was a complete garage build. Raced her first race in 2012, came to the Hammers, and miraculously we somehow pulled off a finish. I think we finished 23rd that year, which is still my highest finish ever. And so that's how it all started in racing. 2013 came along. I didn't go to KOH, but Dustin did. I went out and helped him and some of the other guys. 2014, we had a bunch of people racing, and I think that was when I started racing some dirt riot races and doing some other regional races. Also qualified for my 2014 race in Tooele, Utah. I actually finished that regional race in, I think, 10th spot. I was pretty excited to have a top 10 finish at that short course race. It was a lot of fun, learned a lot. And so, yeah, I've been in the circuit, I guess, since, 2012, 2013. 2014 came along, we started racing some more dirt riot regional stuff, and I started to realize there's a lot more to racing than just King of the Hammers. And 15, 16, well, all those other years came along. We raced some regional races here and there. We did a lot of dirt riot stuff. And I started to outdrive Wasabi. At least I would like to think I started to outdrive Wasabi. I don't know, that car just keeps on ticking. So we, in 2017, I believe it was, we purchased this chassis from Eric. Miller Motorsports chassis. 2018 we put it together, and here we are a couple years later. So we focused again on dirt riot the first year I had together to try to learn the car, try to push it to its limits, and I actually still haven't found the limits of this car. And gosh, I don't know what else. We raced. My first race was this car was King of the Hammers 2019, and I broke a link it was a bad deal. It just came down on a rock in exactly the wrong place on the link and hit a weak spot. So we DNF'd that year. And then last year, we 2020 we raced we raced Tennessee and Moab, and I started to realize what it takes to really push. And I know it's taken me forever, but I started to realize what it takes to push and to be a top 10 competitor. So I've taken that to heart, and man, we were having to, as everybody's story starts and goes, we were having a great race this year at KOH, and I just made some stupid mistakes. I got what you call a helmet head, and forgot where my rear end was a couple of times, and just got badly hung up on it. I was the one who started that whole mess on idle issues this year. But despite our troubles, and we still finished 28th, I think it is, this year. And I learned how to push the car and just continue to push the car every second. I mean, every second, if you get an opportunity, you push the gas pedal all the way to the floor.
What are some of your favorite races that you've done?
Man, the first one, so I really enjoyed Tennessee. This past year, I can't remember the name of the place, outside of Chattanooga, the Ultra 4 Tennessee race. It was a really fun course. This car is awesome at that style of racing. And it was good to be back in some trees and be back in some humidity. And I mean, it was rough on me, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good race. Didn't drive as fast as I thought I was at the end of the race. I thought we were having better lap times than we were, but it was still a fun race. And then I gotta say, my all-time favorite that I'll always have in the back of my head was Dirt Riot Nationals. We were having a hell of a race. Literally led the entire race. It was a national race, so I was really excited. We led the entire race, and second to last lap, we had a cooling issue. It was no fault to the cooling system. It was no fault to the radiator or anything like that. It was another issue that we later found out. But man, it was such a fun race because we were so good. We were really kicking butt. Led the whole race. Lost it. We still placed third, which I can't complain in a national race, right? But
we even stopped and shut the car off for several minutes on the side of the course to
let her cool down.
Yeah, get it back down to a runnable temperature. So.
And but I had that one in the bag, and lost it from that because of an overheating issue. But live and learn, right? So that was probably my most fun. Moab was a lot of fun. It was a tough course. We blew a tire and got hung up in a silt bed in Moab. There's no silt beds in Moab, but we found one. Anyway, so I think those are, and I love KOH, right? I love KOH because of the natural rock courses. And I love the rocks. I feel like I'm decent in the rocks. I just made some dumb mistakes this year, which really put us behind. I think we could have had a top 20 finish if I wouldn't have made the mistakes I made. But I love KOH. I hate the work going up to it, but.
What do you think what would you tell somebody who has never raced before and is thinking about racing? What do you think is the most important thing to have aside? Well, aside from like a big fast car,
No, you don't need a big fast car. You don't need big motors. Um, you need a well-prepped car, and you need a good budget, and then double that budget. Um,
and you're not talking like a ton of money. You mean like
no, I'm talking
plan,
tons
like
of money.
you're like planning a budget and sticking to it to prep the car for the season.
You can't stick to a budget. But no, I don't know. I have some good friends. That always helps. Some people that are passionate about racing. Some strategy. I know, and we're still learning strategy, right? I mean, I don't think that's something you can't teach it. It's experience. So get with somebody who's raced and talk to them about what they're doing, and what tools are they putting there, or what parts are they putting in which pits. It really makes a difference, and they can make and break your race. But that's KOH. I mean, regional races, I think you got, especially with Ultra 4, you just got to go out guns blazing, and push the car. You don't want to outdrive the car, but you have to be willing to push and push.
Guts is important.
Guts, yeah. And I don't have a lot of high-speed guts. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not going 100 miles an hour across the lake bed. It doesn't interest me, and I don't think you have to be competitive. I think there's a lot more risk in it and a lot more damage you can do to a car than running, 80, 90. Once you start really pushing the car and you're running for 6-8 miles across a lake bed at 100 miles an hour, you're only gaining, I don't know, we could do the math, but you're not gaining a lot of position as if you were to be able to maintain a fast speed during all the rest of the race.
If you were going to start all over from the very beginning, what's some advice or something that you would rather, what's something you wish you knew when you started racing that you know now?
Oh, man. Well, that's a tough question. I mean, it shouldn't be that tough, right? Because there's so much we learn literally every time we go out and race. Not even just race, but to go on a trail ride or go pre-run a car, you learn something. You can't ever be prepared enough. So I guess one of the things would be to run your car. Like, go out and practice with it, play with it, go on a trail run with it. You don't always have to go fast, but learn the car. I think that makes a huge difference. Man, I don't know.
What's your next race?
Our next was Moab. Easter Jeep, Moab. I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it. I know there's going to be a lot of competition there. If we're going to race King of the Hammers next year, I got to get a qualifying spot. It's finishing 28th. I don't think quite did it. So, and again, like I said before, like, we haven't found the limits to this car. And so I'm going to push harder than I did last year at Moab. And I don't really want to find the limits of this car, but it's to the point that we're going to have to, and I need to start pushing this thing to its breaking point. So that's our next race tomorrow. But anyway, so we're wrapping it up. My producer over here is telling me I got to say goodbye. So anyway, stay tuned for more Sparrow Motorsports escapades. Bye.